So, someone in my Facebook group asked if Meta Business Suite was a good tool for scheduling posts for a clinic. And today I want to talk about that and recommend some tools that you might want to consider if Meta Business Suite is not for you. But when I'm considering scheduling tools and recommending them to a practice, I have a few criteria that I personally look at to help me decide which tool is going to be the best for me or for any client that is asking me for recommendations. And before you actually start looking into scheduling tools, I want you to consider what you are looking to get out of a scheduling tool, because different goals and different purposes that you have for social media is really going to impact the decisions that you make for the tool that you pursue. So I first look at what is my budget for a tool, because if I don't have really any extra budget to allocate to a tool, then I need to really not look at the fancy tools that have paid features with them. But with that, I also want to figure out ease of use and the amount of analytics that I need to, or that I want to collect from that. Because if you know me or have been following me for any amount of time, I highly recommend that you track your analytics or your insights to see how well posts are performing, because without that, you can't tell how well you are doing and what the ROI is going to be for your clinic. Because at the end of the day, we are trying to run a business and make the business money. So I want you to be sure you have that in mind. But also, I want you to be sure that you're figuring out if you're going to be using this tool on the go or if you're going to be using a desktop, because that will make a huge difference as well. But with that, let's talk about Meta Business Suite, because I often will recommend clinics use this tool just when they're first starting off. But there are some things about Meta Business Suite that I personally do not enjoy. And I know from others, especially within my Facebook group, have expressed the same things. So Meta Business Suite is a great free tool for you to use. You have access to it as soon as you open your Facebook page, and it's right there. There is a little bit of a learning curve, so be prepared for that. But once you get the hang of it, you can easily schedule to Facebook and Instagram. Those are unfortunately the only platforms you can schedule to, but that's because Meta Business Suite owns both of them. So they're naturally just going to only allow you to schedule to those two platforms. But with that, after you get used to it and you are familiar with the lay of the land, you can easily use it. I highly recommend that you use it on desktop. There is a mobile app version, but honestly, the one reason why I don't really use Meta Business Suite personally is because it's so glitchy. Like, I personally have experienced this, but many others have shared the same thing, that when I schedule posts to it, it will often just delete them, eat them, whatever. So all that hard work that I've put into posts, poof, gone in just seconds. So keep that in mind if that's a tool that you want to use moving forward, because like I said, it's free. You already have access to it, but there is some limitations to it, and there are analytics that you can use, but they are kind of hard to find. So you may want to take some time to really get yourself familiar with Meta Business Suite if that's a tool that you decide to use. Now, on the same page, I know that a lot of people will use Canva Pro to schedule their social media content. And the feature that they have there is a paid feature. You can't use it on the free plan, but that is called the Content Planner. So you can easily design your content in Canva, plan it out, and schedule it all in one spot, which is very convenient. But one reason why I don't personally use it or recommend it to be your main scheduler is that once you've scheduled it, you can't track how well your social media posts are performing. And really, I'll say it again, but that's super important to me, especially as a former veterinary assistant. I want to be sure that I am producing the results for the social media post so that my supervisor, my manager, my boss can see how well the social media posts and the efforts that I'm putting into that content is doing for the clinic. So those are the two tools that I know a lot of clinics will use most often, and that's why I don't always recommend them. But again, those are great tools that you can use to get started with, get familiar with how scheduling posts tools really work, and move on from there. Now, once you get used to those two tools, if you do decide to start off with those, then I encourage you to kind of step out a little bit further and get used to some other tools that are more robust. Now, the next couple of tools that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I recommend these more than the other two I just mentioned. These do have free and paid options to them. So I definitely encourage you to check out the free versions, see what you think of the tools, get comfortable with them, and take notes of what you enjoy, what you don't. But the paid options are probably going to be the best bang for your buck once you do get comfortable with a tool that you enjoy. I don't always recommend that you go in with the paid option right away, because each tool is not going to be a great fit for you, but might be a great fit for someone else. So the two tools that are very similar but are great tools that I recommend are Later and Plan, and that's Plan with two N's. And I'll have the links to all of these tools in the description, so definitely be sure to check that out. But both Later and Plan are visually appealing tools. As far as like if you are a visual planner or a visual learner, these will attract to you. These will be your thing that you enjoy. But they are very Instagram focused. So if your clinic is not really looking forward to investing a ton into Instagram, then these tools may not be for you. But, and this is one thing that I just realized I didn't share when I was kind of going over the criteria. I also look at which tools are going to support the platforms that we as a clinic are posting to. So I know most clinics are going to be focused on Facebook and Instagram. But if your clinic is focused on TikTok and LinkedIn as well, these platforms or these tools are going to be great fits for you. They will post to a variety of platforms like the ones I just mentioned, but they will also extend to Pinterest, Google Business Suite, or Google Profile, and some of them will even do YouTube. So definitely check out those when you're exploring these tools and see which will work best for you. Both of these tools have a beautiful drag and drop option, so you can upload your content from Canva or whatever pictures or whatever tool you use to design posts and put them into the scheduling tool. But the main difference between the two is that Later is very drag and drop and very visual, and they really allow you just to be free with how you are planning stuff out. Plan is a little bit more strategic, and they give you more options and support when it comes to coming up with the ideation or with inspo for your post idea. So if you are more strategic like I am, then Plan will jive well with your brain. But really, overall, both of them is really going to be a preference on how you like to work with each tool and how the functionality works with your brain. So this is where ease of use comes into play for you specifically. They both have a wonderful mobile app, so if you are constantly on the go, then these tools will be for you. But I quickly realized that with both of those tools, I was trying to finagle all the different updates that they had, and the analytics on both were great, but I had to pay for those features. And for me, I wasn't really looking for a paid tool that would allow me to have all that access. When I was managing my agency for social media management, that's what I needed. But as a veterinary assistant, that was way too much. And so I didn't utilize all of the features. So I needed something that was a little bit, or not calmer, but a little less on the aggressive side with features, but was definitely had the oomph that I needed. So I discovered Metricool, and that is the tool I recommend that you check out first and foremost, because the free plan is really robust.
I need something robust, precise. Robust, precise.
But if you need to go up to the paid plan because you want some more analytic features and access to some higher level stuff, then that is going to be a great option for you. That's not going to break the bank. So Metricool gets my vote all day long. That's what I use for my business. And it's really easy to use. The analytics are amazing. And you can even hook up your website and track the analytics from there. Because I don't know about you, but when I have to go look at multiple different tools, I start to get overwhelmed, or really more so distracted, if we're honest. So I like to connect the website analytics to Metricool so I can easily see, okay, how many people from my social media posts are clicking over to the website. And then from there, I can easily deduce, okay, we are getting all these clicks to our book or appointment page. And then I can check with our practice management system to see, oh, okay, we're actually got a boost of appointments. just for a quick and dirty way for you to be like, okay, this is how social media is working for you. I digress. But Metricool not only has great analytics, like I said on the free plan, but you can easily see what times they suggest are the best times for you to post. So they have a beautiful visual way for you to do that. They also allow you to publish to multiple platforms. So, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I know they also do X. They do YouTube, Pinterest, Google Business Suite. I think I'd have to double check. But overall, they will cover all your needs from there. And the mobile app is wonderful. So, highly recommend you check that out. And like I said, it's such a budget-friendly option. Even if you need to upgrade, it's wonderful. So I do have a referral link. If you want to check that out, that will be in the description. If you make an account, it supports the business and the channel here. So I highly would love your support there. But overall, let me just recap some of the criteria that you can look for or use when you're looking forward a tool that you will want to use for yourself. So overall, check out your budget, how much you want to allocate to a tool. You want to figure out which platforms you are going to be posting to. You want to figure out how easy it is to use. So if you are willing to take some time to learn how to use the platform, or if you just want to get right to it. And you also want to figure out how in depth of the analytics you want to get. And also you want to see how easy it is for you to manage on the go, if that's how you manage your clinic social media the most. So overall, if you just want to get straight to it and use the tool right away without much of a learning curve, I highly recommend you check out Meta Business Suite or Metricool. Metricool is definitely going to be my first pick for you, just so that you don't have to worry about learning multiple tools and you can just get straight to scheduling posts. And if you grow your following and grow in your skills, Metricool will follow with your growth very easily. So if you have any questions about scheduling tools, or you have other tools that you want to recommend to me, I highly encourage you to check out my Facebook group, because I'm in there answering questions and I love hearing from you. So definitely check that out. Link for that will also be in the description. But if you're ready to get deeper, Vet Social Hub is my membership where you get access to a ton of tools for managing social media for veterinary professionals just like you. In there, you get resources, support, and you get the skills that you need to manage social media with confidence. So check that out in the description. Until then, I will catch you later. Bye.